I had an idea today when I was sitting in my cubicle, like wasting my brain doing literally jack all. And I was like, I should start this thing where we start coming up with the video titles by doing that game, that's like, I'll say one word, you say another word, and we like make a sentence.
Oh my.
Like back and forth. I was like, okay, we
That
should try that. Like maybe it comes up with a good title.
that sounds dangerous.
Okay, cool. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay. This
Is
going
to
be
something
that
we
will
do.
This is going to be something that we will do. That's the title of the video.
That's fantastic.
Okay. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to A Candid Conversation With. My name is Breezy, and welcome to Season 2 of A Candid Conversation With. I'm super excited. We're starting off Season 2. Well, we're starting off the regular Season 2 with a really fun interview that we have planned today. I am joined by one of my longtime community members. Would you like to introduce yourself? Who are you and what do you do?
Hi, I'm Fink. Finkswitch, typically most places, except for Twitch, where it's Fink the Gnome.
Yeah.
Everywhere else it's Finkswitch.
Why?
But for it's a long and stupid story.
No, I love long and stupid stories.
So I don't know if you knew, but before Twitch was Twitch, it was Justin.tv.
Mm-hmm.
And on Justin.tv, I had an account. And it was Finkswitch. And I didn't migrate it to Twitch. So that name has been forever locked out.
Oh. So they didn't... Wait, so did somebody else take Finkswitch or they just didn't let you have...
The account still exists, but because it's a Justin.tv account, it cannot access Twitch. And obviously, Justin.tv does not exist anymore.
So did everybody that had their original usernames on Justin.tv lose them to the migration?
I think you had to do something.
Oh.
I don't know what it was, and obviously I didn't do it.
Interesting. Where did the name come from to begin with? I've never asked you that.
That is a fantastic story.
Okay.
Like one of my favorites. In the end, I don't know where the name really came from, but I know where the first place I used it was.
Okay.
So I play World of Warcraft, and this was back, oh my gosh, like 15 years ago or so. I used to do a podcast called Shadowcast.
Oh. Did I know that?
You may not have.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
I did all the recording and all the video editing, like all the tech stuff, and I was a participant. I still have some of the files. I think we only did like maybe 10 episodes or so. But during one of them, I did a GSA, a Gnomish service announcement. I had just gotten a headset that came with a voice changer, which was super cool.
Yes.
So I made my voice all high-pitched and nasally, and I was Finkswitch Butterpants the Third.
I love that.
And I was doing a Gnomish service announcement about people doing ERP, so like erotic roleplay, in the Deep Run Tram, which is kind of the train tunnel subway thing that goes between two of the capitals.
Okay.
And unfortunately, one of the major things that I don't have from that for some reason is that specific clip, because I wish I had it, because it's my proudest moment. I remember saying something along the lines of "soft Kaldori bosom" in like a dreamy voice, but all like picture it high pitched and like Nomi.
Nomi. Okay. Yeah. So that was your character.
That wasn't a character at the time, but he became my character, and he's the character I play the most now.
I love that. And your profile picture is that, I don't think I've ever asked about what that is.
Is actually some art that a friend of mine made for me. So the character, because I play on a role-playing server, so we're a bunch of big nerds.
Sure.
She decided to actually give me, like, did some art for me for free.
Yeah.
Because my character was like an inventor and like ran a corporation, and so I'm like, yeah, she's like, well, I want to do some art for you. And I want to maybe like make it like what like one of those portraits you see like in a bank of the founder. So somewhere I have a picture of my character, who is the character in my profile picture. These were just some like headshots that she did
Yeah.
in like a full like double-breasted suit. So just this green-haired gnome looking at his pocket watch in his suit. I'll have to see if I can find it and show it to you.
Yeah. If you could
Because
send it to me, I would love to
I will
like
send it
put
to
it
you. It
up.
is awesome.
Because your profile picture is like lovely. The fact that someone did that for free is so cool.
Yes, and I don't really talk to that person much anymore, but we left on good terms. A lot of our community did not leave in with them on good terms. There was some
Really?
conflict and stuff, but
Oh.
I've always been on good terms with them, and like they're wonderful. Like I've never had any issues with,
You seem like
and
a very
they're
like
super nice.
non-controversial person. Like I feel like you just
I'm
very go with the flow.
I'm very much a problem solver.
Yeah.
Um, like I want to be I try to be the person who resolves the conflict
Yeah.
and not the person who creates it. I mean, I can create my own conflict. That's
Sure.
not a problem.
Yeah.
But I try not to.
Yeah. That seems like it reflects in your characters. If you're like talking about like an inventor and like someone who's a creative, I feel like that really reflects in the characters you play or like have role played in the
Yeah.
past.
Yeah. Generally, like if I'm playing like D&D or something like that, um, I usually fill the role of the absolute chaos. I probably have a little bit of main character syndrome in those cases. Um,
You and me both.
but like in D&D game that I'm playing in, my character, whose name is Bella Olivia Octavia Macy, which spells boom,
Oh, okay. I like that.
is a gnomish artificer in D&D 5th edition. So
Ooh.
like the inventor kind of person.
Yeah.
Um, and the party was having a lot of conflict and um, like there was some we have one person who's playing an evil character. We all knew this ahead of time, so it was all agreed upon. And two of them were kind of butting heads and coming to a head. Um, and to fix the problem, this is in Descent to Avernus. So we are literally in hell, and the party is like feels like it's about to break apart from all this conflict. So my character went and drank some water from the river Styx, which basically wiped her memory entirely and made her completely useless. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, so she was left with someone to babysit and basically was just Baby Yoda.
That's a really fun character to play.
Well, I didn't play her like that
Okay.
because it wasn't she wasn't playable at
Right.
that point. But like when they came back, my character, because I played a temporary character in the meantime, they were the my character Bella was crawling underneath carpets trying to get away from somebody try chasing them.
Uh-huh.
So
I like that.
yeah, I like to kind of channel the impulsive chaos side of things when I'm playing games.
I do too. I feel like I relate to that. And I don't know if it's because I like to be that person in real life or because I'm not that person in real life. You know how there's like two sides to character building where it's like I either play someone I am like or I'm the complete opposite.
Yeah, I am not terribly chaotic in my day to day. Um, I mean, I'm not terribly ordered either, but
Yeah, but it's like fun to play
definitely
that.
it's fun just to kind of let all that out.
Yeah,
Like just let the chaos flow.
exactly. When did you start playing D&D? Like how'd you get into role-playing games?
Oh my gosh. It has been a long time. I am going on 42 now.
Mhm.
Um, I've been interested in like the fantasy genre at least for probably 35 years at the bare minimum. Um, the first time I remember playing D&D is on my family, like my whole extended family, like my grandparents had rented a bus to go down to my aunt's wedding in somewhere in Quebec. And I remember being in the back with my cousin, and the two of us were kind of playing D&D together. Neither of us knew what we were doing. He's 2 years older than me, and I was probably under 10. So I was quite
You were
young still.
young.
That's the first time, and I distinctly remember being fascinated with the spell Magic Missile, because in my mind, initially, it was literally like a missile being shot from an aircraft.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize, oh, missile can be any kind of projectile, is a missile.
See, I didn't even know what that spell did. I've never played, other than a druid, I've never played as like a magically inclined character. Because I feel like the spells, I like hate having to keep the spells on my sheet and stuff. Like it's boring to me.
Yeah, I gravitate towards either smart or charismatic characters, and often like the arcane casters, like wizards or sorcerers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what I tend to gravitate towards.
So
So,
you were really young. You never had anyone in your life like that went through the whole craze of like D&D is like witchcraft or whatever, and you're going to hell if you have like your kids are playing it.
no, I mean, I was born in the 80s when that was kind of the height of things.
Yeah.
But I think being in Canada, and specifically like Northern Ontario, and I grew up in like the hamlet, not even village, the hamlet I grew up in, had maybe 50 people,
Really?
and like 6 of them were my family.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Was that fun as a kid to be in such a small area? You grew up
Um,
on like a ranch, didn't you? Or like you had
Farm, yeah.
farm. Okay, it was a farm. I don't
Yeah,
know the
it
difference.
was, ranch is typically more like, I mean, technically, I guess it could be a ranch. It's usually like livestock, horses, stuff like that.
Okay.
We had horses when I was growing up. Like, I actually got a pony as a kid. I wasn't super excited because it was just I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Like there are like little girls right now that are like screaming at their parents for ponies, and you got a pony and you were like, I don't know, it's okay.
Yeah, like growing up, I went to horse shows. I did the barrel races and the clover and the pole race, all that kind of stuff. Typically I would come in second, always to the same kid. I
Do you
don't even
remember
remember.
his name?
No, because I never knew his name.
Oh,
Because he only went by Junior.
drama. Oh my god, Junior is out there somewhere and he's like wrestling alligators, or like he's like he's coming in
Just
first
one-upping
somewhere.
me every time.
Like instead of having twins, he had triplets, which I don't know, like if that would be
Exactly.
better.
Or maybe he only had one kid, which might be better. I
That
don't know.
might be true.
It's 50-50.
Yeah. So I do want to talk about that a little, because you have twins and they're your only kids, right?
They're my only kids.
I
They
need
are
to know, like, I need to, and they're both girls. I need to know,
Yeah.
like, when you found out you were having twins, like, I assume y'all were trying for just one. You were like, oh, we're just gonna have a one child and it's gonna be a great time. And then you found out you were having two. Like,
we weren't really like trying.
Yeah.
So it just happened, I asked my wife why she gave me a bag with a pregnancy test in it. I'm like, ew, you gave me something you peed on?
I've always thought that was a little gross. I'm not gonna lie to you. Every time someone's like, oh, it's a cute video of my husband unwrapping the pregnancy test, I'm like, you pissed on that to get it to say that
Exactly.
thing. Like, I hope they
peed on
rinsed it
this.
off.
Like, okay, I'm gonna look at it. I'm excited. I'm happy. But you peed on this. I'm not picking it up.
I'm gonna just put that back down. Thank you so much. Anyway, so she gave you her
Um,
piss stick.
Yes, and then a few weeks later, I'm thinking, you know what? Because I always wanted two.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'd like to have two kids, ideally like a boy and a girl if I can. If it works out like that, that'd be great. So we went in for an ultrasound, and they say, okay, well, here's baby A, and it didn't click with me that she said A, because it's the first ultrasound. I don't know any different.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they always say baby A. And then they say, and
Yeah.
there's baby B. And I'm like, wait, what?
Oh my
It
God.
was a big surprise because the only twins on my side of the family are adopted twins.
No kidding. It's
So
not
there
even
is
in your
no
genes.
twins in my genes. I think my wife has like a third or fourth cousin that has twins, but that's the
Wow.
closest relation. But they're fraternal twins, so it is entirely her fault.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, fraternal twins means there's two eggs.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it
So
was her fault, not genetically, but it just like her
it is
fault.
literally her fault.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because fraternal twins are two different eggs that just so basically they're just normal sisters, two
Yeah.
normal sisters
They just
who
happened at
happen
the
to
same
be
time,
born at the same time.
which is like so brutal. And you had to go through the whole baby stage with two of them. Like it's hard
Yes.
enough. I feel like losing sleep over one, but
Uh,
two.
yeah, we did breastfeeding for a couple weeks before it was just too much. Like of every 3 hours, two were spent around breastfeeding and preparing for breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Heating water, mixing formula, supplementing, pumping, feeding. It was exhausting.
Yeah.
We ended up getting a thing called the baby Breeza, and if anybody has twins, it is, or I mean, any kid that's on formula, it is basically a baby Keurig. It is the best thing we
Really?
ever bought. It was expensive as heck.
I
It
need
was
to look
like,
this up. Does it look like a Keurig?
yeah, except instead of putting a coffee pot on, it's got a big container full of formula. So it just turns and dispenses the right amount of formula. It's got
I
heated water in it. It keeps the water warm. It is a
guess
baby Keurig.
I like should have assumed this existed because like why wouldn't it? Right? It feels like this is the natural next step. Oh, this one's got a remote. Oh, you can start it from your phone.
Yeah, keep in mind this was 2016 in the olden days.
Oh, that's true. But like this is that's like pretty
Yeah,
sick, I
basically I
feel.
just picked, how big of a bottle I wanted.
Yeah.
It would dispense the formula, it would dispense the water. The water was already warmed. All I had to do was take it and shake it and feed. It
Wow.
was the best $200 I've spent in my entire life based off of just the time saved alone.
No kidding. And now
Yeah,
you don't
it
have they're
was.
not babies anymore. Your kids are how
They
old?
are not. They are 6.5, roughly.
That's
They're going to be 7 this summer.
That's a mischievous age. Would you feel that they're easier now, or were they easier as babies when they were less mischievous?
They are, I would say the thing is, it doesn't get easier or harder so much. It more gets different. And I know that's cliche. Like, oh,
Yeah.
everybody says it doesn't get harder or easier. But it's true.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not dealing with diapers or poop. I'm dealing with back talk or ignoring me, making messes, paying more attention to their tablets than me. Like, I'm trying to get your attention. I asked you to do something 10 times,
Mm-hmm.
but you're still watching your Minecraft video.
Yeah. Raising kids in the like technology age, I feel like my parents were on the cusp of it raising me, right? Like I had my own computer when I got older, but I didn't have a cell phone until I was like 17, blah blah blah. But like now, it's like kids come out the womb with a tablet, which is fine in certain like like if you have to give it to them for like a break or they're like, just entertaining themselves, great. But like I can't even imagine what it's like trying to like get their focus or anything when there's just
Yeah,
like
and
stuff.
like we got them a couple years ago now. They got like the Amazon Fire tablets, the kids edition,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
which comes with the kid-proof warranty so that when they break it, and one of my children, only one of them, has broken their tablet 5 times.
Doing what? 5 times?
Well, no, sorry, not her tablet. She
Oh,
broke a phone. She broke a phone.
this
She
is the
broke an
same
iPad.
one.
Same one. Basically, 5 screens have been broken by this child.
She's just
3
like
of her own tablet.
throwing
No,
them.
she'll put it on the floor and step on it. Like, yeah, they're an absolute menace. She's taking. So the last time she was warned, your warranty is running out
Yeah.
because it ran out in November, I want to say, and she was told, if your screen breaks, and it's not usable, you're done. So she's been taking much better care of it lately. But like she'd just put it on the floor and not pay attention, and they literally just walk on it and step on it.
Oh my God.
The other one, her tablet got broken once, but it wasn't her fault. It was like in the back of the couch, and my wife, we have
Oh
like
no.
the electric
Yes.
footrest things. So you hear the of it going, and
Just
as
the
it's
slow,
yeah.
and then just snapping.
just crack, and she's like, "What's that?" And then presses the button again and keeps going, and there's more crack. I'm like, "Stop!" No.
You're like hearing the money go out the door. You're like, no, please. That I would have laughed if you had said that your daughter who had only broken the one, you're like, she didn't break it, but her sister did. Like her sister is just the one that's like constantly stepping on shit. At least she's like only breaking her own shit, it feels.
Well, the phone and the iPad were not hers. The phone was my wife's phone.
Oh.
Which is why my daughters never get my phone.
Like her primary phone, this was like something. Oh God, no.
I had thankfully recently upgraded, so I gave her my old phone.
Yeah.
Until she was able to get an upgraded phone. But yeah, we still have that phone with the cracked screen. And then the iPad was actually my wife's as well. So they've not broken any of my stuff. Technically, they did. I had an old iPad that was again left in the couch, like somehow behind the couch and got broken. Same way. I have no idea who's responsible for that. It may have been my wife. It may have been my daughters. It may have been me. I don't know.
Right.
But it was basically like this when I found it.
Oh my God.
It was like an Air. It was like an Air 2.
Okay.
So that's like it wasn't getting iOS updates or anything.
Anymore, right. So it was like way past its prime.
Yeah, I wasn't super upset about that. I wasn't happy about it, obviously, but
that sucks. That sucks. So many trials and tribulations, and you know what? The older they get, like the more, like you said, it's not going to get easier per se. It's going to get different, especially having 2 girls and just growing up in like a girl household now.
Yeah, I think right now is actually going to be the easier time for me.
Yeah.
Like right now, this age is hell for people who have boys. My sister has 3 boys.
Oh, God.
And they are nuts.
Yeah.
I have girls. They're fine. They are pretty well behaved.
Yeah.
Once they get like 10, 12, I am dreading it.
I feel like 10 and 12 is like okay. You start getting to like 14, 15, 16.
Yeah,
and it's peak.
That's when
like
it kind of starts to ramp up, and then the slope just keeps getting steeper.
Yeah.
Straight line up.
It's straight up. But then after they hit 18 and like if they move out of the house, whatever, typically you become best friends again. Like I was raised in a girl household and like things got chill after I was like, okay, I finished school, I'm good, like whatever.
Yeah. So hopefully after that things calm down and everything's good. I mean, I may be fortunate and they're going to be great kids the whole way through.
Yeah.
They're my kids, so that's unlikely.
Were you a hellion as a child? Like, what were you like?
I was terrible as a child.
Really?
I was always in trouble. I have ADHD, and especially when I was much younger, I was not medicated or anything. The stereotype in the 80s was, yeah, ADHD, throw the medication. The medication didn't really work, and instead of trying to find out what's going to work, I said, okay, we tried.
Yeah.
And I just let it go.
Right.
So, I mean, basically, I was ADHD unmedicated until I was like 40.
Which is wild. Like, that's hard.
Yeah, I've always had like anger issues, and like, I've always been really quick to get angry, but I never stay angry.
Yeah.
So it's not like real anger.
It's just like fleeting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the angriest I've ever been will last like a day, maybe. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of that growing up, a lot of talking to principals and teachers and trying to stab someone with a protractor once.
We cannot gloss over that one. I need to know why.
I don't even remember why. That's the thing. Like, they did something and it just made me so bad that I was like, I'm gonna stab you with this protractor.
Yeah. And did you get to the stabbing part? Or you just like, I'm gonna do
No,
it, and
I
they
did,
were
I did
like,
not.
principal.
It was like, I think it was like during like an indoor recess or something.
Yeah.
There was just a few of us there, and they did something to make me mad, and I was like just climbing over a desk with a protractor, and I don't remember what the end result was. I was never suspended or anything like
Oh,
that.
good.
And I know I never actually stabbed anyone.
I feel like you
thankfully.
would remember that. I hope so.
I remember that, being taken out in handcuffs,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
going to
Cool.
kid jail.
Going to kid jail. You're all like lined up against the wall with like your sippy cups, and it's like, oh, what are you in for? You're like, well, I stabbed someone with a protractor. They're like, that's rough, man. That's really rough.
Yeah, I think that was like grade 4 or 5. So it wasn't like really young,
Okay.
but it was young enough that I could still be, just written off as doing something stupid.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of one of the things that led me to talking to like a counselor as a kid and the medication and stuff, which never went anywhere. But
Yeah. And as an adult, like, when did you officially go and like get, I guess, re-diagnosed or like get medication to like help you focus finally?
it's only been a couple years. I remember kind of the clinching point was a few years ago. I was playing like I play like tabletop war games with like miniatures and stuff. And I was playing one, and I was having so much trouble actually remembering the rules and focusing for this game that I had played since 2013, and this was after my daughters were born. And I'm like, you know what? I need to do something about this because this is obviously not normal. I saw a doctor, started on antidepressants initially, and then kind of the whole TikTok thing
Yeah.
where everybody's on about ADHD. I'm like, you know what? A lot of this
Yeah.
really resonates with me. And I talked to my doctor and ended up talking to a specialist because I'm in Canada and I didn't have to pay for it.
Rubbing it! Canada rules!
But like with the meds, it's so much less effort now.
That's like what meds are for. People are,
Yeah.
people worry about taking meds either because they think it's going to make them like vastly different, or they're thinking it's going to be a miracle. Some people go in it with these really unrealistic expectations. It's like, no, it just like lowers the bar so that you can function like a normal person does, not to use normal like that, but you know what I mean.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I never knew what it was like to not have a million thoughts going all the time.
Yeah.
Like, my inner monologue would never stop. It was constant. And like with the meds, there can be silence, and it doesn't feel like my inner monologue needs to jump in and fill whatever silence is there. And it's just so weird thinking, oh my god, that's how a normal person goes through life. That is so easy.
Yeah. It feels like you've been playing on hard mode your entire life, and then like you get a breath of fresh air when you get those meds. Do you remember the first time it like clicked and you were like, holy shit, like I feel better?
Yeah, I experienced a few moments depending on, because I went up in dose for the meds that I was taking a little bit, and at certain levels there was a noticeable difference. And I think I mentioned it in Discord in the past with others. Like at this level, you know what? I feel weird, not bad weird,
Yeah.
but weird because it didn't feel normal. Like I feel like I can actually sit down and focus on something, and I don't have to be like, I don't have to hyper focus on it. I can focus on something. I can pay attention to something else. I can have like a conversation as I'm doing something else without everything just mashing together and becoming an untenable mess.
Yeah. It's crazy. And it's funny that you mentioned that TikTok was the thing that you like were noticing more of, and you're like, this feels like it resonates, because that's exactly how I got my diagnosis. Because I was also like, I found, you know how the algorithm is, right? You find one video that you like are watching a little too long, and suddenly you get like all the ADHD TikToks or whatever. And I remember sitting there And I just had a day where I like started crying because I was like, is this what's wrong with me? Like, I related so hard to all those TikToks and was like, shit, I guess I should go get checked out.
Yeah, for me, it started with like some random people with making videos that have Tourette's,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't have, thankfully, because
Yeah, that's hard.
that would be difficult. That would be very challenging. I don't envy people with that. Like people are like, ha ha ha, he said fuck, ha ha ha, but it's not like it's not
No,
controllable.
right.
And a lot of these people have really hard times. Um, the videos that I found were made for the purpose of entertainment, so they're purposely, recording their tics to make people laugh and kind of laughing along. And from that it moved to uh more neurodivergent stuff and
Mm-hmm.
more and the ADHD and seeing a lot of that stuff. Like there's one person, Katiosaurus, I think, on TikTok,
Yes, I think I know who that
who's a
is.
pretty big creator, and I saw a lot of her stuff and a lot of it resonated with me, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like all these things that you're describing are like I feel every single like I check
Check the
every box.
boxes. Yeah. Yeah, I did the same thing.
And it was so um just it just felt so good to finally be able to like say, hey, this is what the problem is, and be able to address it and move forward. It's because it's challenging.
Yeah.
And just being able to move forward with it has been, oh, so much better. Um, like when I started on the ADHD meds and the antidepressants and stuff, it was when I ended up just changing jobs. The job I was at, my boss was not great, and we butted heads a lot, and I ended up being told, you're done. Then I moved to where I am now. I very much miss the team I was with before because they were great people. I love them to death. I still talk to most of them. But the environment I'm in now and the people I'm working with now and the job I'm doing now, the expectations are so much better. I used to get calls at 3 in the morning from Mongolia saying, hey, this is not working. I got a call from my boss at the time about I work in IT, so a server went down that affected the global operations, and it was in the main office for the Canadian operations. He couldn't get a hold of any IT in the Canadian operations. He could get a hold of me. I still had physical access to the building and knew what I was doing. I went in, I found out what the problem was, fixed it, at least good enough until the morning. So like I got a call at like midnight from my boss saying, "Hey, I need you to go in because I can't get a hold of anybody who's supposed to be available for this." Like the expectation was always that we are always on call.
Ugh.
We weren't paid for it. Like
Really?
we weren't paid to be on call. We'd be paid for our time, but if something took 15 minutes, we'd get paid 15 minutes.
Yeah. Now if it seems like the job that you have really like fits the lifestyle you have too. Like you're already raising two kids,
Yes,
like I'm sure
I
this is
have.
much easier cuz you used to like travel to Mongolia, didn't you?
I did one trip to Mongolia. I was there for 15 days.
So cool.
Um, it was a negative 45 degrees. Uh, I mean, at negative 45, it's negative 45 either,
Yeah.
because that's what it kind of meets is minus 40. So every day was that for 15 days.
That's less cool, but
Um, no, it wasn't cool. It was
it's cold.
freaking cold. Like I'd have to walk from the hotel I was staying at to the office where we were working, which was like maybe a city block and a half every morning. And it was so cold, but it was dry. So it was like minus 45 there isn't quite as bad as minus 45 here.
Really?
Like it's cold and windy, but it's dry. Here, like North America is very wet
Yeah.
all the time. And it's always like, even when it's that cold, there's still a bit of like, you still get that dampness kind of.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it didn't feel as bad as here. That may be because I was stuck in it for so long. Um,
You were raised in the you were molded by the cold, really.
I can't do a Bane voice,
Yeah.
but
I can't either.
I need like a coffee cup or something. And,
You're the bane of Canada, if you will.
God, that's terrifying.
But you're used to it, so you're just like, whatever. I'm in Mongolia.
Yeah.
Did you get to do anything fun while you were there?
We did do a day of sightseeing. So like it was a Saturday. I was flying out on the Sunday. So like we went out on the Friday night and we were gonna go do some sightseeing around Mongolia on the Sunday. I drank a lot on that Friday night.
Okay.
Because I discovered that Mongolian vodka tastes like water.
No shit.
There's no burn, there's no taste. Like it just goes down like nothing.
Danger.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah.
I was very sick that night.
Uh-huh.
When I got back to my hotel room. And then the next morning in Mongolia, roads are a suggestion more than a rule.
Okay.
There's roads and you're driving on them, but they don't feel like they're roads. Because
Okay.
it's like,
Oh, God.
so I'm in the back of this little tiny Jeep,
Oh, no.
so hungover from the night before, feeling so bad, just with my eyes closed, going,
Ugh.
don't throw up, don't throw up, don't throw up, don't throw up. Like in my head, just
Yeah.
constantly, don't throw up. I enjoyed it. I have pictures of myself in like Mongolian armor with a sword, and with one of the other guys that was there with me, like trying to hit me with his sword. I'm like, ah.
I think I remember you sharing that at one point. I'll have to go back and
Yeah.
find it so I can put it up because it's really cool.
I can send it to you if
Yeah.
you need it.
Please do.
And
And you didn't throw up.
I did not throw up.
Okay. All
I
right.
throw up the night before, but that was it.
But that day, you were fine.
I don't think I actually ate anything, so I don't think there was anything for me to throw up
Right.
anyway.
You were so worried that you were like, I don't know if it's going to be interesting. And I'm like, everyone has something interesting to talk about. You have many interesting things, so
I suppose so.
you're interesting.
But it's very different than the other interviews you've done, which is what was concerning. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to like be like Cardi B or Purple.
Well,
Like,
that's why it's candid. I know, but those people are like, they're interesting in their own way, and you're interesting in your
They're
own
like-
way, and that's why it's fun.
Yeah, they're like up on a pedestal.
Well, now you are up on the pedestal with them of people I've interviewed, and it's pretty high up there. Like, the view is beautiful, I think.
The air is great up here.
Okay, so do you have anything? I mean, do you want to promote anything? Like, is there anything? You're not a content creator, really, but like.
Not really, no. You know what? I have aspirations of being a content creator.
Okay.
Which is why I have the fancy microphone. Like I have a Yeti Blue mic. I
Yeah.
have this fancy Razer webcam.
Yeah.
I've streamed once.
When did you stream?
Great. Years, several. It was quite a while ago. I did because at the time I was watching a lot of people doing painting streams, like
Oh,
painting
yeah.
miniatures, and I just hooked up a couple cams and painted, a model once. That is the entirety of my streaming career. And there's always like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do it this way, but I don't have this, because there's always something missing that I think that I need for it, which I really don't.
Everyone does that though.
Logically, I'm like, yeah, I don't need. Like, the big thing is like right now I'm sitting on my couch, obviously, in front of a laptop.
Sure.
This is where I do everything. Like if I'm playing a game, doing whatever, I'm sitting here, and I'm like, oh, I need a second screen if I'm gonna stream, so I can like see the chat or whatever. And I could also just pull up the chat on my phone if I wanted to.
I used to do that way back in the day. That's how I used to read chat, was on my phone. So,
but it's always like some kind of thing that's like, I can't do it because I don't have this. So there's always like this thing that's like, no, I can't do it. I can't.
Everyone goes through that. And if you know what, if like it's the timing isn't right, it's totally fine. But if you ever are interested in being a content creator, you know what? I'm just going to say it now. You can go follow Fink on Twitch. I can put the Twitch link down below. And you know what?
I'm Fink the Gnome on Twitch.
Yes.
I'm Finkswitch on Twitter. I don't tweet. I think the last tweet I had was from when I was in Vancouver, and somebody like went and blew like a snot rocket into a garbage can in front of me, and it was disgusting.
And that's what you tweeted about?
Because I was in Vancouver. this was a long time ago. This was like before even Mongolia. This was like before 2010 even.
Yeah.
Ages ago. And I tweeted about it because it was disgusting. And I had my first iPhone and I had Twitter on it, so I tweeted something.
That's
I think
amazing.
other than that, I've like retweeted some contest stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't use Twitter. I'm
It's for the best, honestly. Mental health is probably better if you're not using Twitter.
I'm not in with all the kids are into now.
I would love to be on Twitter less, trust me.
The Twitters and their TikToks. I have made one TikTok. I'm also Finkswitch on TikTok.
Yes. I can put all of those in the description down below, but you know what? There's going to be one day where Fink decides he's just going to turn on the stream and he's going to like blow up and you're going to have been there first. And I'll have been there first. I'll have been the first one to interview you before your blow up. So keep that in mind.
Blow up or blow out or
whichever you want to do.
What kind of blowing will happen?
We're always blowing here at the shit show. Well, thank you for doing this. This was super fun.
It's my pleasure. It was great.
It was wonderful.
I was very nervous and it's been a wonderful time. Thank you so much.
Heck yeah. All right, fam. We will see you in the next one. Goodbye. Yay!
There's no music. Where's the music?
You're right. I should have it so people in the Discord can hear it too.